Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. No?
Sorry. But should I be like this or like this?
More to the front.
Like this. Okay.
Am I fine where I'm at?
You look like
Perfect,
comfortable.
yeah.
You're like sitting back. You look comfortable.
Okay.
So.
Cut.
Cut.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Tahira and I have Mohammed Sakali here with me, one of the residents in my program. And we thought we'd get together to make a video for you guys about interviews, since I know that this is interview season right now for all you residency applicants out there. And we're just going to give you some tips and tricks about what to do and what not to do. So from my perspective, I think the first thing that we should tell the viewers is about how they need to dress up for their interviews, be it in-person interviews or for a majority of the people the way it is right now, the Zoom interviews. How did you dress up for your...
So definitely if you're a guy, I feel like, I can't maybe speak on what girls wear, but for a guy, always wear a suit, always wear a shirt and tie. You want to be wearing your jacket probably the entire time. If you're doing a Zoom interview, you might be able to get away with wearing like pants that are not dress pants to be more comfortable, but I wouldn't risk it and I wouldn't recommend it because there's a chance you might get up at some point. You may get up to use the restroom. I would recommend dressing as if you're going in for the interview. So full suit, wear a tie, make sure it's tailored. I think that's very important.
That's true. That helps.
And just pick the color so that it looks good to your taste. You want to be fashionable and you want to kind of show like your colors and personality.
That's true. Yeah, represent who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for girls it's pretty much the same. Just wear a jacket, be dressed formally. If you want to wear a dress, that's okay too. But I feel like jacket just kind of looks a lot more formal than the dress does. And always dress top to bottom, even if it's a Zoom interview, you want to dress top to bottom.
Wear
just
pants.
in case.
Wear pants.
Yeah, I remember in one of my fellowship interviews, I actually had to get up to show my interview or something in my room, and that would have been a disaster if I was home late.
Yes.
So for the next part, what do you think of the background if they're doing a Zoom interview?
So if you're doing a Zoom interview, for me, I never used like a virtual background, I think, because I don't know, I found it to be a little bit tacky. But if you have like a nice area in your house, it can be a pretty plain background. I don't think it's the most important thing, but you don't want anything that is inappropriate, you know, like anything that might have like bad language in it. You want to be professional, and so as long as it's a plain background or maybe some nice art or something to kind of accentuate the background, I think that's more than fine. You can do a virtual background, but it wasn't my preferred.
Yeah, I feel like for a blurred background or for virtual background, you can always use your university logos or something, but I feel like that kind of, at least for me, if I was interviewing someone, I feel like it kind of takes away an important aspect that you could use to represent yourself, which is your background, and the interviewer would feel not so connected with you if you're hiding your background. That's my personal opinion. Yeah. And I feel like it's better to put things in your background that represent you. So for example, if you like indoor plants, or if you like art, or if you're like into comic books or whatever, you know, if you put a little of that in your background, yeah, it shows who you are.
I think just to bounce off that idea, my sister, she's also a resident, and I remember throughout the entire interview, they just discussed coffee. And so anything that can help show who you are, what your personality is like, because I think at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do in the interview. You're trying to express and show your personality to your interviewers so that they know what kind of person you are, because that's, you know, besides your scores, and those things do matter, but besides those things, they want somebody who has a good personality that would fit into their program well. Yeah. So anything that would show your personality, I agree, is a good idea.
It helps. Okay, so to start off your interviews, I feel like the most common question that everybody asks is, tell me a little about yourself. And I think it gives the interviewer a little time to kind of process what they're going to ask you, and it also helps act like an icebreaker for you and the interviewer to kind of get to know each other better. Yeah. So what do you think should be a natural response to, tell me a little about yourself?
I think this is like one of the most annoying questions you can get asked because what can you say about yourself? I think this is a good opportunity for you to highlight any, you know, foundational experiences that kind of define who you are as a human being. And you can do so without any remorse or any regrets because you were specifically asked just tell me about yourself. And so this is, I think, an opportunity for you to brag, to show off a little bit, and not feel guilty about it. What do you think?
I think you can always start with like where you're from, because
Yeah.
that's what truly represents you. So
Yeah.
you can tell that I'm from so and so country. I belong to so and so family, or like I'm one of 4 siblings or one of 3 siblings, and I was born and raised here. You can add a little something special or unique about the town where you grew up in. Like I had a friend who would always talk about the fact that he came from a town which was called the Storyteller Town, and I think that's a great initiator for conversation. So starting kind of defining your origins, and then from there telling them what got you into medicine, and then how you ended up coming to the US and what got you interested in the system. And I think finishing off that question, you should go into what you're aspiring to be, or like what your next steps are. And I think that's a real good way to kind of tell a short story about yourself, almost like a little biography, you know, like I was born and raised there, this is what I did, and this is what I'm wanting to do.
Yeah, I think don't shy away from your background and where you come from and who you are as a person, because if you feel like a program may not like you because of that, that's probably a program you don't want to be at anyways.
That's true.
And so, yeah, I think be true to yourself, give good, honest answers. Really show them who you are, and yeah. So I think another commonly asked question is, programs will ask, why did you choose our program specifically? And especially as somebody who's an IMG, I think this can be a difficult question to answer, because as an IMG, you're probably applying pretty broadly. And so what would you say if a program asked you that, to kind of stand out and give a good response to that question?
I think you bring up a really good point that as an IMG, you're interviewing in many different places, in many different regions, and most of the time, not for everyone, but for most of the people, you don't really have any connections to these regions. You're mostly like looking at ease of travel or things like, you know, weather, minor things like that. But I think to really show the program that you're interested in them, you need to tailor this question genuinely, so, you know, like being truthful about it, but just tailoring it to what are the things that are important to you, which made you apply here. So you can talk about if research is a strength for that program, for example, you can always talk about how much you're interested in research and how you're wanting to publish in your area of whatever specialty you're applying to. If it's a community program, you can focus on how you want to serve the community and focus on working in limited resources of how you think that's going to be important for your training. If you're applying to somewhere that's on a mountain or somewhere that's on a beach, you want to tailor this answer to tell them how much you enjoy activities related to one or the other, and how that's become an important factor in applying to this program. Family obviously matters a lot, and if you do have any kind of family or friends in that region, you definitely want to bring that up, and you want to say that you want to be close to them naturally. That's why this program is important to you.
Yeah, I think especially the point about like serving like lower income areas.
Yeah.
Having parents that came as immigrants and then they applied for like the J1 visa. I think a lot of low income areas and underserved populations actually are looking for international medical graduates to come to their communities, because they do have a demand for physicians and they are underserved. And so I think highlighting that aspect of it is important and can actually increase your chances in getting into a place that is underserved.
Alright guys, that's it. It's a wrap, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped answer some of your questions. And good luck for the upcoming residency match, and I hope all of you get what's truly best for you. And if you end up not matching, it's not the end of the world. There's always going to be another year, and you're going to come back stronger with all the experience you've gathered from this year, so don't worry about it. And yeah, good luck.
Cut. But you're not saying anything.
I
Supposed
think
to
you
say
were
something
having a
funny.
good natural flow, so.
Yeah, we were.
Okay,
No.